Catherine, and of course banning out that Sky.
Yeah, I think it's likely that the Sky was banned just to make sure that it's not picked against Catherine, because they obviously don't want to pick it because they are Team Beast. They could pick Sky up themselves if they wanted to, but clearly they don't want to pick it. Maybe they want to pick Idris, would be a very likely pick if it's not banned. And it's odd to see that Lance has been picked up because you don't generally see Lance and Catherine as the meta heroes, but they did. We obviously saw in the last game Lance do a load of work, so they just wanted to pick it up, and it makes sense that the Catherine was to make sure that they don't get Lance Catherine again. And Vox ban, I didn't expect to see Batiste. As I said, I expected to see Idris picked up, but they clearly want to play that Crystal Batiste. It did do an awful lot of work earlier today, and so would you expect to see maybe a Kestrel or an Idris picked up now?
I personally would prefer to see a Castro because the side of Eanix are just so comfortable with that of Castro. Although in the first game they didn't play quite well, but the Castro comp is a comp that they've run very, very often, and I'm sure the side of Eanix will be very comfortable with it. But with that Idris being opened up, I'm not surprised though if they do just settle for the Idris, just to remove Idris from the equation for the side of Elite 8. I mean, Idris at this point in time is a very strong weapon carry. They are going to go for that Scarf for the side of Eanix, just depriving the side of Elite 8 for that Scarf because... Yeah.
Eanix going for a very similar comp, but no, they're not going to go for a weapon lance in the jungle. They're going to go for a pool in the jungle. Sky obviously banned away. Sky is seen as the main counter to Crawl, so that can't be picked. Obviously, Petal is another great counter, but Scarf will rip through Petal's minions like no one's business. And obviously, they've already picked their Batiste, so unless you want to push that Batiste into lane, you're going to put Batiste against a Crawl, which is really good. Melee heroes are fantastic at playing against the Batiste because he can't run away. That's the one thing Batiste just cannot do. He has to damage you from afar, but he can't get away if you're on top of him. And we've seen the first Gwen for a long time. I think that's a good counter to Crawl, because obviously you have the stun if Crawl tries to engage. You have your skedaddle to run away from either from Hell's Heart if it stuns you, which is stunned for 2.2 seconds, or up to 3.3 seconds if it's stunned at a boomerang range. And also you can obviously skedaddle out of the Crawl's slow. So I do like the Gwen pick. It's going to be hard for Elite 8 to pull that off because they obviously, Gwen is not the most meta carry at the moment.
Definitely. I mean, Gwen is very strong in the early game with that poke, but in the later game, like, she falls out so badly in the late game itself. She just doesn't do as much damage as compared to the other weapon carries. Anyways, just a quick update for all of you guys and all the viewers out there. iLock will be replacing Anime Save Me to play for the side of Elite 8. Anyways, just looking at the draft alone, we see a couple of CCs coming out from the side of Eanix as well. We do have from Hell's Heart, like you said, we have the slow from Goop, and of course a Root from Impale, and of course the Githan Wall for that stun as well. And if they can kind of chain the CCs well, then they definitely would have the upper hand over the side of, say, Elite 8. Although Elite 8 has got the Batiste and Catherine, a very strong combination at this point in time.
Yeah, I think the Batiste, Catherine, Gwen obviously is a triple stun comp. You can get 3 stuns in a row, but that's not ever going to happen really unless you make sure that Batiste's Ordained is the first stun, then you can get the Catherine and Gwen one after the other. And obviously there is a double stun for Eanix with Crawl and Lance, but I think it's going to be all about what Crawl can do if Crawl can get on top of Gwen or Batiste. Because if Crawl can get on top of either of them, then he'll be absolutely fine at deleting them. And Crawl hasn't seen a lot of play. Crawl actually was played in the third match between Infamous and Brenchong that was played off stream. Yeah. Crawl did win that game. So Crawl, 100% win rate today. It's interesting to see if in this third game he wins again. I have seen a little bit of Crawl in ranked matches, and he's extremely good. I've seen a lot more Crystal Power Crawl where you go Tension Bow, Aftershock, and go Crystal Power. But obviously Weapon Power does very similar. He'll do an awful lot of on-hit damage with basic attacks. So I think Crawl has a really good chance of winning this.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen a lot of Crawls recently after Crawl was thrown out in the NA VG8. And honestly, Crawl is so versatile coming to this game. But then we have to consider the fact that Crawl can be shut down with Merciless Pursuit, and of course Ordain as well, just to not allow Cruel to get anywhere close to your carries. So that is one thing that we must consider as well. I mean, Batiste on the side of Elite 8, and we've seen Official Hein on this Batiste, and Official Hein plays very good Batiste, like we did see in the first game, when he uses Fearsome Shade to shut down so many countless ultimates coming out from the side of Eanix as well. So coming into this game, of course, granted the side of Eanix, they've got a more balanced team comp. They've got that Cruel that can be, a distraction, can just be in front line, soak up as much damage. And on top of that, we do have a Lance as well to provide all the CCs. And of course, they can have that. And of course, we have that Scarf just poking from the back with the Spitfires as well. But then on the side of Elite 8, they really just want to go in for that engage. They have got that Catherine with that Merciless Pursuit. And of course, Ordain and Bad Mojo. And if the situation seems strong, seems bad for the side of Elite 8, Fearsome Shade is always available. And of course, Skedaddle, like you said, is always available. So I'm kind of 50-50 on both of these teams as well. It is just down to how they are going to play and how well they are going to execute the team comp. Overall, I think Eanix's team comp is a much easier to execute team comp.
Yeah, I do think that but it's going to be interesting to see how well Batiste can use that fear, because that's pretty much going to be what decides who wins the team fights. Obviously, so it's all about Cruel getting on top of Gwen, but if Batiste manages to fear Cruel away, then that will be good, but it will still be quite hard for Gwen to do her damage, because Gwen needs to be at reasonably close range to get basic attacks off. Gwen doesn't have a really very long range. So it's more that Batiste is going to have to fear Cruel towards a wall, or make it so that Gwen can kind of chase Cruel while he's being forced away from her. And so I think it's going to be mostly on Batiste, but obviously there's going to be a lot of pressure for Gwen to skedaddle at the right time. It obviously doesn't block the damage, but it does block the CC. So it may be useful. Obviously, a weapon power Cruel doesn't do a lot of damage on his ultimate, so it might make a lot of sense for Gwen to skedaddle the Cruel stun, maybe even face tank it so that it doesn't hit anyone else, and then you immediately skedaddle. So you block the stun, and that's a 3-second stun if Cruel does it at boomerang range, and that's so much CC that's just been taken out by your V ability, which will be up again in about 12 seconds.
Yeah.
So it does make sense to pick Gwen against this Cruel, and it's going to be tougher for Elite 8 to pull it off, because they really need to spend all their CC to stop Cruel, and while they're doing that, there's a Scarf on the back line. But then again, they still can do it, so I do prefer the draft from Eanix personally.
Yep, so same here. So we are on the same page. Just preferring the draft coming up from the side of Eanix. And I guess they've got, just very good CCs overall. They've got a root for that Scarf as well. And like you said, the side of Elite 8, they have to just block out and work around those CCs as much as they can. And it's really just down to eye-lock on this Catherine, whether or not she can crucible out the more important ones, like say a Lance's root. And then of course the carries can just burn their own reflex bloxers for like Cruel's from Hell's Heart, or even the goop from Scarf. Anyways, we are jumping into the foes at this point in time. So talking about these games, of course, we have Asurai and Minimiter. Take it away.
Thanks for that one, Minimiter. Luxuria? I'm not gonna call you Lux, I'm gonna call you Luxuria, yeah. And Minimiter will be the one who's going to be co-casting with me for this final game here, guys, with our best Eanix versus Elite 8. Let's do this. For me, I would have to probably go for Elite 8's side, just because I have a lot of faith in the Batiste of Official Hein. But if you look on Eanix, on that second game, they were phenomenal with this double in-your-face dive/stun type of composition that really works out well for them.
Yeah, they were happy with how the Scarf the Scarf and Lance worked in the last game. Obviously, the Catherine was immediately picked up to just make sure they couldn't do the same comp twice in a row because of how comfortable they were on it. But they went through a very similar comp. They went for Cruel instead of Catherine. And I'm pretty sure they'll be happy with how the draft went because they like their Scarf. Rob Monkey played extremely well on Lance. This time it will be a support Lance instead of a weapon power Lance. He has booked a weapon blade, but that's probably just for a bit of early game pressure. And Truffy's could be in trouble. Rob Monkey's in more trouble.
Here it is, a taste of your own medicine. Rubber Monkey bursted down as that lands. First blood will be netted by Elite 8 here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is probably the first time that I'll be seeing Gwen for our split 2. Not really a popular pick in the Sia region.
Yeah, it's definitely the first time we've seen Gwen for quite a while because she was really strong for she got a slightly decreased weapon power ratio because what everyone used to play was just a tension bow on Gwen, and you'd have your tension bow proc at the same time as your boomstick heroic perk, which happens every few seconds. And so that's such a big on-hit damage that there's pretty much nothing that you can do to defend against it except to get quite a lot of health. Because obviously tension bow will pierce through armor you've got, and so you have to build health to try and even though the burst is still around 400 in the early game, you need to make sure that's not too much of your health. And we are going to see tension bow Gwen 2 minutes 30. That's a really early tension bow, really good CS from Gwen to make sure she can get that tension bow really early on. And so Scarf is really going to have to be careful of not getting in range of Gwen when that tension bow is up. And Triumph will go over.
Oh, this is a 2v3 though. Did they get the steal? I actually didn't see. Official Heinz gonna be caught out. That's gonna be a 1 kill. Elite 8 though, they have Hun Jaegers. Wow, tension bow. You said it, the damage is just surreal. But here comes I Angry You Die. Trophies as well. He will be activating that trap, but it won't really get much. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. So
well,
there you have it. Tension bow.
Cruel took away one of the backs and is going to run away so it's the next one. Won't die, but Gwen is going to rotate down. Will this be a dead I Angry You Die?
Dead I Angry You Die.
Oh,
Good timing. Even Rubber Monkey with the impale, but that might have been an imp fail as he might go down here against Ilock. Nope. Trophies will be giving a little bit of support for him. So both members here of Eanix will survive.
Yeah, I Angry You Die will survive just barely. He actually, I thought he used his boots, but he just stayed in the bush to get his rogue perk. And the Elite 8 couldn't secure the tree before it despawns 4 minutes in, so Official High won't be too happy about that. And it was a good fight from Eanix. Obviously, they were all 3, whereas Elite 8 were just as 2. So they got the kill on Batiste and then got one of the backs away. Now, Ilock could be in a bit of trouble. Ilock's going in.
Not a lot of ability here for the Scarf. Ordained just for the security of it, and they get the one. Looking for the second Rubber Monkey. He doesn't have a lot of tanking prowess for the meantime, so he's got to back away to the safety of the turret. I Angry You Die boosting up. He wants a little bit of the aggression. Krull does have that Dead Man's Rush, but didn't find the target. So E8 really capitalizing on this Scarf's immobility.
Yeah, they're doing well. Ilock is coming out of the bush with that emergency suit, and Official Hide is right behind her with the Ordained. So even if Scarf does manage to run far enough away that you can't kill her, she gets stunned by the Ordained. If she doesn't run away into the Ordained wall, then Hun Jaegers will get the kill with that tension bow and working towards Solar Blade. So it's a good combination from Elite 8. Rob Monkey really has to be in lane almost constantly to make sure that he can push Catherine away before she manages to land the Merciless Pursuit. And I Angry You Die still level 5, trying to get his back, so he'll be level 6 momentarily. So that's a really good time for him to come up to lane, try and get a gank, because Official Hide is only level 5, and it's actually almost going to hit the level 6 as well at the same time. So no one wants to fight. They're both going to back off. Fountain on Catherine now, and a tension bow picked up by Cruel. So even though he could have fought a level 6, Cruel hadn't quite got his tension bow, so he didn't want to fight straight away.
Official Hein up in the river looking for, getting his camps for the meantime. Angry You Die level 6 has the from hell. He can throw his blade and get a target stun locked if they can follow through. Hun Jaegers almost getting caught out there. Rubber Monkey didn't want to go in. I think just because he didn't know where the rest of Elite 8 are. But here it is, 3 versus 3 in the lane. I agree that he has the ultimate, it connects, but looky here, it's gonna be iLock to block with the Merciless Pursuit. 3! Man, Fearsome Shade coming out. iLock, oh, Jaegers as well. If they had enough range, that would have been disgusting against Eanix. But they might have a consolation prize here. That could be the turret. They're looking at Trophies, but Trophies is actually dealing quite a bit of good damage here. Storm Guard activated by iLock, but they gotta respect, they don't have any more waves to work with, so they just back off. But man, oh man, that could have been worse for Eanix.
Yeah, definitely could. They could have lost the turret, they could have lost an ace. They managed to back away pretty much unharmed, apart from the turret going quite low, and they're going to now try and push the turret by themselves to return. Visual Hyde is kind of by himself if Eanix wants to go for him, and Iron Gudai could try it. Not quite have enough speed boost to get there. I'm interested to see what Iron Gudai picks up now. If he is going to go for weapon power core, if he's going to go for that Storm Guard banner and book into a Storm Guard, it looks like he will go full weapon power, which is a much smarter move, because on-hit crawl does work well if you've got a weapon power carry, but as they've got a crystal power carry, you really want to have a lot of weapon on your jungler so that they can't just build an Aegis and be fine. They have to either build an Aegis and die to crawl, or build a metal jacket or an Atlas and die to trophies. So good decision from Crawl. Looks like he's going to go for attack speed, maybe into a poison shiv, maybe into a breaking point.
In the back line,
looking for some poke. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to get much. Poke at the choke, and Jaeger's going to rush it down. Going to get a flare and an infusion. Yeah, I was going to say, looks like he wanted to infuse. And so it could be a fight for Elite 8. Official Hyde isn't infused at the moment, but he's got one in his pocket, so Elite 8 are almost definitely going to want to fight soon.
Well, for the meantime, nothing as of the moment just yet. Misses the Impale. He's actually caught out from that one. Wow. One missed position, and he got blown up. Now that can be the transition here for Elite 8 into the turret. That's going to be a yes. Immediately back off. The Gold Miner is a pretty good other objective to go for this one, and Elite 8 get 3 pretty good objectives for the price of none. But wait, hold that thought. Angry Die is right here. Can they go for the steal? Shoots out the Spitfire, but it's a bit too slow. Not like a Glimmer Shot, not like a one-shot, one kill. So it's gonna be a, well, Elite 8 to get, again, 3-0 in terms of the objectives.
4k gold lead for Elite 8 just from that one kill. It was, as you said, one missed position from Lance, one missed Impale. You're locked in position for a bit before you can start moving, and you're just going to get bursted down. A single stun, a double stun from iLock and Jaegers, and Lance just got bursted so quickly. It was well played from Elite 8, but I think Rubber Monkey should have seen that they were infused, seen that they really wanted to fight, push a turret, get a gold mine. So those infusions were more than worth it. They got 600 gold from turrets and gold mine, but they're going to go for a fight, so hold my thought.
Go for a fight. I agree. You die into the backline. Hanye Fountain, and immediately they try to wrap around. Jaeger is looking at Trophies, but Trophies with the fadeaway Spitfire actually connecting. Now Rubber Monkey as well as I Angry You Die. Pretty low in HP. From Hell's Heart was already used, so no throwing dagger blade ultimate to stun someone. They have to wait for maybe the Githian Wall or an Impale to start the fight off, but I think they're just gonna hold off for the meantime. But as I say that, they go aggressive onto the lance. They're chasing him down right now. He's gonna go to at least dip back into the fight with the Impale, looking aggressive. He's backing off. iLock once more. Does he have the Merciless Pursuit? It's on cooldown, but they're just gonna back off for the meantime. So there you go.
Yeah, Korn didn't have this from Hell's Heart available, so he's just going to back off the farm. I think Eanix will be happy that they didn't lose any kills from that. They didn't really get anything positive, so they're still around 4k behind. But they don't lose another turret, they don't lose another gold mine or any kills, which is really quite important. Scarf, once he gets a late game, will be doing way more damage than the Jaegers is now on Gwen, and we see the importance of the early game from Elite 8 is that Jaeger's picked up an infusion, has now used it. Official Hein will probably buy an infusion now as well, just so that they are all completely ready to fight. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of defense and an infusion for Elite 8. So Elite 8 know they need to win this around mid-game, because if they don't, Scarf will start ramping up to late game, and they're going to be in a real bit of trouble.
Trying to look for an opening here. 5k gold lead for Elite 8. Well, it's still a little bit early. 4 minutes before that Kraken unleashes. There's still the second turret, so not over yet for Eanix.
No, not yet. They're just trying to poke. There's more poke from Scarf if it is landed. Official High's doing well.
Ooh, that bad mojo. Nice connection with the Githian wall though, but Rubber Monk been a bit too overcommitting. Here goes Iangry with the backstab, misses from Hell's Heart. Fearsome Shade comes through. Trophies blowing hard onto Official High and has to back away. Look at the damage from that goop. 2v1. Actually, Iangry pushes him back. He's going a bit more aggressive here. Dead Man's Rush, Rubber Monkey on the sidelines goes in with a combat roll, but won't find Ilock. Still, it could have gone worse, but my goodness, you die with the flanks.
It's been really important that Ilock has constantly had vision in the very top bush of the lane. Every time Paul has tried to sneak in there and be not seen, there's been a scout trap for him to try and pop. So it's been well done by Ilock. He's going to probably pick up another scout trap and put another in that top bush, because it's so important they know exactly where Cruel is. Because that top bush in the lane, just in the middle of the lane, is so common that Cruels will just sit there, wait for you to try and get your wave. As soon as you try and get your farm, he'll either throw some Hell's Heart and get the 2 second stun, or he'll just Dead Man's Rush to slow you down. Batiste has now picked up a block, so that's good against this Cruel. But Batiste is trying to 1v1 the Scar, while Cruel is just diving onto Gwen on the backline. Batiste needs to be with Gwen, helping stop Cruel dive, because Catherine can try, but Catherine can't stop Cruel by itself. She only has 1 stun every few seconds, and so they're going to try and steal the gold, try and take the gold mine. I don't think it is known about, but Cruel is going to go for the steal. Will they get it?
Rubber Monkey, he does have the impale, but that's going to be a no from Official High. Rubber Monkey is very low. They're chasing him down, but they want the Cruel for their first meal. Though Elite 8 not going to be able to capitalize. I thought they were going to go for the chase, but that's not going to be the case. Official High right here, looking for the steal. Gets connected with from Hell's Heart. He's bursted down so much, and he gets immediately punished. Why did he have to go for that one? As it looks like Eanix are on for the chase. Island is getting slowed down for days with that goop, and Trophies is a speeding Gonzalez into his face. Look at that. And that's going to be an ace for Eanix. And look how the tides have turned. My goodness.
The tides have turned. There's still a 5k gold lead for Elite 8, but I'm pretty sure this century going down, this first turret will reduce that to about 3.5k gold lead now. So much better for Eanix. They got the backs, which is really good for Angry Die. We've seen the power of the Cruel in that team fight, because he managed to burst down Official Heinz so quickly, and then could just turn his attention to Hunjäger's. Gwen is really quite quick with that, with the skedaddle. Now has journey boots to try and run away, but Cruel with tier 2 boots and with so many gap closes, when shadows empower him in the bush, when he uses his Dead Man's Rush to get on top of you, you really are going to struggle to run away from a Cruel, especially when your Batista's already been killed. So it's good from Iron Gudai. Trophies is just on the backline, dealing with damage. We've seen lots of infusions from Elite 8, but only 1 set of infusions from Eanix, 1 from each player. And when the teams are level on infusions, it's really anyone's fight. And Eanix took that one, and I've got a feeling the later this goes on, the more in favour it will be of Eanix. So Elite 8 really have to fight now or never, because if they wait for a bit more time, then Trophies might get an Aegis, might get another damage item, and Scarf's going to be in the late game, going to be doing more damage than Gwen will, and they're just going to get in a worse and worse position the later on that Elite 8 wait.
Well, Official Hein did get caught out heavily in that last clash. Maybe if he stays back a little bit right now. Wylock though, he's going to be face checking, and that should be a dead Catherine. No escape, no surrender, and that's a very free Kraken for the meantime. Will Hunjäger's and Official Hein go for the contest?
I hope they don't go too deep to try and steal this, because if they give up the ace, that's a turret and a Kraken. But Official Hein on this Batiste is fantastic at stealing Krakens. If you get a fearsome shade, they cannot do anything while they're just running away from you.
Bad mojo pokes. Can he get it? Oh, that's gonna be close. No, he does not. Here comes I Angry You Die. Is from Hell's Heart is on cooldown. Look at how Rubber Monkey chases him on. And there's the slows from the goop, from the itemization there of trophies. And he capitalizes. One more second onto the Impale. Will they go? Here comes Ilock. Goes aggressive. Gets the connection onto the Merciless Pursuit. Here comes On Jaegers with the shots connecting. On Jaegers takes it down. Looking onto I Angry You Die, but I Angry You Die will back away. Kraken will be pushing, and Trophies will be backing up this behemoth. And you know what they say, hell hath no wrath like a Kraken spawn. And they is just, or she rather, is battering down onto the turrets. On Jaegers doing the best that he can to actually stop it. But I Angry to Die is here into the sides, has the ultimate as well.
He's just waiting, trying to get a bit of energy, and I think Scarf is too low on energy to really push this next turret. All three members of Elite 8 are up, so I think Eanix won't be too happy with that Kraken push. They only get the choke point turret, but once again, as I said, they just got to fight. They are winning the fights at the moment. They just have to wait, and once Trophies gets that Clockwork last item, then he's really going to have no energy problems with the energy regen you get from Clockwork, and he's going to do so much more damage with the 40% crystal power amplification that Clockwork gives you. Once he builds up Broken Mist stacks, that will just be so much damage to try and contend with. But I think if Eanix wait for Trophies to be able to afford that, I think it's about 500 more gold before he can get it, and then get an infusion and then fight, there really won't be much that Elite 8 can do beside from stopping Cruel getting on top of Jaegers or Official Hein. In all of these team fights that Eanix have won, Cruel has been on top of Batiste or on top of Gwen, and once Cruel's on top of you, you're in a horrible position. I said earlier that Batiste cannot run away, and that is so true. When your Fearsome Shade isn't available, even if you've ordained Cruel, he can block that, and then you can't run away as Batiste. You have to stand there and try and fight him, and you're not going to beat Cruel in a 1v1 fight. And then, so it's all down on Ilock and Official Hein to get their CC on Cruel, stop him diving the backline, and then if Cruel isn't on top of you, he doesn't get his weakness stacks, he doesn't get healing, he doesn't stop your damage, and you can kill him reasonably quickly, reasonably easily.
Yeah. Well, the other funny thing about this one is if you look at both teams' net worth, it's 40k for Elite 8, while there's 37, 36 for Eanix here. So that means that they have, I would say, better itemization. But the problem is, like you said already, this Cruel is something to be dealt with. But, I mean, if they find at least a little bit of their stride, shouldn't they out-damage Eanix?
You see the 3.5k gold lead that Elite 8 have managed to keep. They're only 2 kills behind. They've got Kraken gold, and they've taken 1 turret, whereas Eanix have only taken 2. So you might be tempted to say that Elite 8, they're a bit behind on turrets, but they're probably ahead at this point. But the problem with saying that is Iron Gudai's build is so cheap. He's got Tension Bow and he's got Poison Shiv, 2 extremely cheap items. And Trophies is almost fully built. He just needs an Aegis, and Trophies is fully built. So he's got all the damage, and so the gold lead that they've got isn't really that important because Elite 8 has more expensive items. But even so, Jaegers is going to fall off. He has got 4 damage, which is quite important. Having a breaking point against Cruel and Scarf is a great idea because Cruel's going to be quite a long fight, as will Scarf. So having a breaking point on your Gwen makes a lot of sense. This is going to be a free Kraken for Eanix. I highly doubt that Elite 8 are going to be able to stop this. And yeah, it'll be Cruel. You're not going to steal a Kraken away from Cruel unless you stun him, but that was a crucible for that anyway. And I wouldn't be surprised if Eanix, they don't need to win off this push. They can just take 1 turret and back off and then take another team fight when Scarf maybe gets an Aegis, because there's no need overextending, giving up the Ace and letting Elite 8 have a chance to get back into this. Because if they fight in an even setting, they're not diving turrets, they're just fighting anywhere on the fold that isn't in Elite 8's base, then Eanix are probably going to win this.
So now the push is on, like you said, probably going to win this. Rubber Bump down with the Impale, comes from the backline as well. So Eanix are methodically pushing this, playing this by the book, slowly but surely, using that Kraken. The She-Beast, She-Monster is pushing. with Eanix right now. Elite 8 are trying to desperately take her down before Eanix destroys the turret because it's going to be detrimental for them. They go and activates the Fearsome Shade, connecting on the trophies as well from downtown, and they get the 1 kill. The Kraken is still alive, but it shouldn't be for much longer. Here comes Sun Jaegers, does take in a Spitfire. So 1 death, 2 turrets, and a Kraken. So not too bad for Eanix, but not bad at all as well for Elite 8.
Yeah, Elite 8, again, I said Eanix don't need to be too aggressive. They said they get 1 checkpoint turret and that'd be it. They get the first crystal turret very low, but obviously they don't need to take it. Just wait, don't get caught out, Trophies. What are you doing?
Oh, and here comes the fight. Ilock is here. Wait, Trophies is dealing so much damage. Elite 8 just walked into the vat of life. And here comes the breath of the Dragon's Breath. Trophies going aggressive. He blows up Ilock, but wait. Official Hein, he's angry. There's the bad mojo, and you know when you get too many bad mojos, you're gonna have a bad time. Angry Die, though, will be able to escape at the max range outside of the bad mojo.
And they're gonna go with the War Dreads to try and find someone, but the player won't connect. Official Hein. He didn't miss the port, so he's gonna try and back up the Sentry. Pale was actually blocked, so that was smart.
Yeah, that was very good.
Both teams gonna back off. Vainglory Die is too low to even try. And it was, again, I said, Trophies, what you doing? You've been caught out, but you got a kill on Catherine. He almost got another kill on Gwen. So Scarf just knows that he's got the damage to turn these fights around. And another 500 gold, and Trophies can pick up an Aegis, and then he'll be fully built. And this almost 5k gold lead that Elite have got just won't matter at that point, because once you're fully built, so for Gwen right now, that 1,200 gold extra she's got is completely pointless, because she can't build any more items. She can only re-infuse. And so I think Elite 8, they'll be slightly confused as to how they've managed to get this gold lead, but still have really no advantage in terms of the game. They've lost almost all their turrets compared to what Eanix have got, and they're not looking like they're going to win these team fights.
We'll just have to see. Angry Die is such a thorn on the side of Elite 8 here. He has been diving for days, this poor Hun Jaegers or Official Hein. Although Official Hein did get a good, I would say, ultimate out of that crystal turret defense, they're still ways off from maybe getting off Eanix. But the Kraken is alive. There's no chance of being, I guess, base raced or...
they could rush the base and try and take down all the turrets, but it's extremely hard. With 2 turrets left, you can do it. Obviously, Scarf has really good turret clear, but it's just not worth it. They're winning the fights anyway, so just win a fight.
And here they go. Fight might break out. They're just chipping at each other. Angry Die from the sidelines. He's really good positioning here. But Elite 8, as of the same time, they know that they can't spot the Crow. They know that he might just pop out from somewhere unexpected, so they're trying to just keep themselves a little bit out of the reach of Eanix while doing damage from afar. But they can't do that as well because Trophies is here, so it's kind of a difficult situation for them. So we'll just have to see.
Something of note is that Trophies has picked up a Crucible, not an Aegis. I was saying that he was 500 gold away from an Aegis, and there's actually going to go in on Rubber Monkey for a bit of damage. No, they're just going to poke, and they're both going to back off.
Angry Dice chasing, using the rush, or rather the move speed boost. He's coming in! Oh no, Official Hein is caught out. There's going to be the goop. This is full punishment from Trophies, and there you go. Wait! What was that? The Fearsome Shade to actually stop the aggression here of Eanix. Trying to back away. Oh, Ilock, he's gonna get caught out the sidestep, but it's still not gonna be enough. That was a great Fearsome Shade, but sometimes great is not enough. You gotta go for the best, and Eanix got the best one out of that one.
Yeah, Crucible was up. It's still up for Rubber Monkeys. He could have tried to block the Fearsome Shade, but the block came out a little bit late from Trophies when he tried to stop that. Did really well to dive in on Batiste and on Gwen, just get to the back line, but I don't think they'll be annoyed that they got feared away, because they got the kill on Catherine, because Eanix, now in this late game scenario, is just so much stronger than Elite 8 are. And as I said, the gold lead is pointless because everyone except Crawl is fully built, and Crawl's doing enough damage as it is. He doesn't necessarily need that extra item. Batista's picked up his Broken Myth, so I reckon he's going to go that's it. I can win the fight now. I've got my broken myth. Realistically, just Elite Eanix, all they have to do, be careful, wait for Kraken to take the turrets by herself, and then take the Vein Crystal when Kraken's taking the turrets.
Correct me if I'm wrong, 3 seconds on that goop cooldown plus the Frostburn is really making it difficult for to get away from Eanix. So even if the from Hell's Heart doesn't really do anything, it's just that much CC from the goop. But wait, Official Hein into the sidelines. They will be spotting out the Crow. Oh my goodness, he has a lot of damage, or rather a lot of keep aways. He will be able to almost escape, but that Kraken is battering onto the turret. Maybe one more shot. Yeah, he will be able to. Oh wait, hold that thought.
Yes.
Is it gonna be enough?
Yes,
it will. Wow, I thought he wouldn't be able, or she won't be able to get that last bash in, but I was wrong.
Very annoying. Would have been very annoying for Eanix if the Kraken didn't take down that last turret. But again, Eanix don't need to be over aggressive. Krul was standing in a very, very odd position, it seems. But he was just waiting there to hope that maybe Elite 8 aren't going to notice me. Maybe I'm going to be allowed to just take the Vein after the Kraken takes the second turret. But they did notice him. Official Hein, a good fist, a good fear, a good ordained. Once they were both down, Krul went, right, I'm going to dive in and try and kill him. Catherine was there with an Atlas Potion to just stop Krul being able to get the kill onto Batiste. And often we see when there are veins exposed, teams are very bad at getting vision. But I'm definite that Elite 8 are not going to have that problem of a lack of vision. They are definitely ready for the back door, and I highly doubt that Eanix will be able to do that.
Although Eanix don't really have to go for it, they just have to build up a wave and push in, and that might be it. That might be GG, ladies and gents, but we'll just have to see if ever that they can finish off this game. There's still a slight chance that Elite 8 can win this fight, but only if they're able to split up Eanix perfectly, because that Kroll is such an annoying hero to deal with.
Yeah, they've been using the Fearsome Shades defensively, as you have to do. You have to get Krul away from your backline. But it's so hard to actually kill someone when you feared them away from you. Official Hein has to kind of use the fear defensively, but not too defensively, so that they can actually do the damage while they're being feared away. It's going to be tough, but I think it definitely is possible. And Eanix, as soon as Kraken spawns, they're going for it. They're going for her immediately. And unless the Crucible is missed on the Fearsome Shade, Krul should be able to secure that with a Spectral Smite. Actually, Eanix, once it's been spotted, they're going to back off. And Elite 8 maybe want to go for the Kraken themselves. I'd just back away if I were you. I wouldn't let the Kraken be set, and Eanix going to go for it. Krul has no chance of backdoor.
He was spotted out. Oh, there's Aces High connecting. Hunjagers is chasing him down. This could be it. Angry Die trying to run away. Will he be able to escape? Uses the ultimate by himself to actually stun Hunjagers and provide a little bit of zoning for himself. But that might have been a bad call for Eanix right now, because this is a 2v3 situation. He's backing in. Hunjagers will get caught out. But was that enough damage? I could be wrong here. Official Hein is still here. He's pulling out the bad mojos. Oh my goodness, Ilock gets taken down. It's going to be the 1-for-1 trade. Angry Die is chasing on to Hunjagers, but Hunjagers was already dead to begin with. Official Hein is right here. Does he have an ultimate? And that's going to be a no. I thought that was a good fight for Elite 8, but I was severely wrong, and this could be it. Actually no turrets remaining, and that Vein is going to be popped.
Yeah, it was good. Well played from Hunjagers to spot Krul out in the Moustache bush. Get the Aces High, to land onto Krul, but then Krul could just run away. He had War Treads, he had a movement speed already, and Krul with 2 blocks, with an Aegis and with a Reflex block, means that there was no chance you were going to lock him down with CC. He was just going to run away from you and keep running away if he needs to. And then once he ran away from Gwen did manage to secure the Kraken with a basic attack, which I suppose Elite would have been happy with. You get that Kraken buff and heal, but once you get hit by an enemy, that's cancelled, and you're in quite a lot of trouble, because trophies with those 4 damage items just scaled far better than Hunjagers could. And Angry Die picking a fantastic Krul against the Batiste. I don't think anyone expected Krul to be played, but when he was played, he just absolutely destroyed. So to talk more about that game, about that draft, and how well executed Eanix managed to do it, We've got the analysts of Luxuria and I Request a Duel.
Hello, and that was an amazing game between